Bez Hashem, so we're going to learn about Relationship Flow podcast from the Tolna Rebbe, shlita, chedves to the anpin. Baruch Hashem, we have the sefer. We're not going to do Hemi and Achemuni, that was last week. Very special sefer, but this is more recent Torahs and very appropriate, especially with Rav Sodik's shir yesterday where we spoke about Parshat Bikurim and the Kohen being Mevara. So the way we learn is the Kohen is Mevara and the Bechina of Isadi Gisad Olam. That's Rav Sodik's Nachus at the beginning of Parshat Kisavo. Here in Parshat Kisavo, in my Mavav, the Tolna Rebbe does the other way around. He's going to help Mevara, not the Kohen Mevara, the Yidden, but Yidden now going to be Mevara, the Kohen. It's a nice switcheroo. And we dedicate our learning, Bez Hashem, to all the soldiers and Baruch Hashem, and we always put a link for anyone to sponsor or connect about any of the learning or anything. You can just DM or Bez Hashem share your relationship flow. Having Shalom bias in this generation takes a lot of birurim, a lot of clarifications, and by learning Torah, you get the eitzes that you need and the humility and the kedusha to be able to serve Hashem the way He wants us. And Bez Hashem, we hope the new Shabbos and the new week will have a lot more Yidden back in Shirat David. This is where we're learning. And the Rav is coming back, Bez Hashem, Ba'aleinu Tavo, Shlomo Katz and the family, and a lot of other people as well. And we hope we'll have more of a matzah of Torah and Tefillah. Kol Yaakov, it's Kol Yaakov, it's Kol Tefillah, for Kol Torah. It's all the different aspects. We need to get ready for, Klalis has within it the word Kol. We want to turn around the curse into the Kol of Torah. Psacharav, Amar, Isa b'Mesechtes Megillah, says the Hedigat Rebbe. He brings from the Gemara Megillah. Tanya Rebbe Shimon ben Elazar, Omer, Ezu Tikkun Lahen Yisrael, Shu Korean Klalis, Shebetoras Kainim, Kodem Aseres, V'Shemishna Torah, Kodem Rosh Hashanah. So we know the minhag that we read the parshas of the Chachas, of rebuke, Erev Shavuos, and Erev Rosh Hashanah. Doesn't mean literally the Shabbos before. It's actually the time 2 weeks before. I think usually Bachol Kosai is before B'midbar, Parshat B'midbar, and then depending on the year, Naso comes before or after Shavuos. I think last year, this Shavuos, it was after Shavuos. So then B'midbar is in the middle. So it's 2 weeks usually before. So too this year with Kisavo, and then we have some of Elimelech, and then we have Rosh Hashanah. So it's 2 weeks. Okay, so that's the minhag. The main thing is to hear the Tchacha. And we said it's a 6 Shabbos, 6 Shabbos of Nechamta, so it's very appropriate on the Midas Yisrod to work on fixing ourselves, because this is the time of the Tzaddik. Girsas HaRosh, Sham. He, Tosfos Loshen, Zeh Lashona, Tanya, Rebbe Shimon ben Elazar, Omer, Ezra Tikkun Lahem Yisrael, Shu Korean Klalis, Brochus, because also Brochus, people forget that part. Shebetoras Kainim, Kodem Aseres, B'Mishnah Torah, Kodem Rosh Hashanah. Obviously we want the Brochus, but the Klalis are there to help wake us up. And Tzadikim, B'derech Panimis, V'Chasidus, they sweeten all the Klalis. It's part of the whole Hamtaka of learning Chasidus, the sweetening, the sweet honey. Nemsi Shabakol Inyanei Parshatan Lo Rak B'Klalis Elagam B'Brochus Memes Hadrochus Miyuchedes. So within not only the Klalis but also the Brochus are hinting tremendous guidance, very special guidance. L'chol Echad Ve'Echad Be'inyan Hachana in each one of us in terms of our preparation. Roya Lekras Yom Adin Le'Hagodu V'Noyua L'Mashasha Bo Aleinu L'Tova. So we have to get ourselves ready, like Mamash Measure myself, to really arouse ourselves for this big Yom, this great day of judgment that's coming, and it should come upon us, the Tova. Yesh this bonim b'chol pasuk b'chol teva v'motza it's a hara, that's a dracha shebehem. And in every pasuk of these parshat, every letter, every word, there's found in it tremendous teachings and guidance. Kom almanas shenochu lahachines halavavis. The whole thing is for us to prepare our hearts, lahachshes and nefashos, and to prepare our souls, the tshuva shlema, halavai, b'chale sagi, the zechus lama shamu sham b'magmar, t'chale shanam k'naser, t'chol shana b'chosea. The whole thing is that the year, as we say in Achis Chetana, is that the name of it? I think it is, yeah. Achis Chetana, before Rosh Hashanah's davening begins, the Rosh Hashanah, the whole service, everything begins with those 2 special days. We say this tefillah, some shuls I think even sing it. And it's basically that it should end the year and all its curses, and should begin the year and all its blessings. It repeats that line again and again, amongst other things. But that's the main Nakuda. Now, interestingly, we've had this already now, Rav Sodek, and now we're doing the same Nakuda, but he's going to go in the opposite direction. Amevi Bikurim Amalekayim Devarim Kashim Kigidim. So when we bring Bikurim, we say very difficult things to the Kohen. And the Haggadah is difficult. If you actually think about Seder night, because remember he said it's the skeleton of the Seder night of the Haggadah, the Bikurim, it's a very harsh avodah. If you think about Nunu, Vasaka, what Am Yisrael have gone through, he's going to explain here. So Rabbeinu HaKodesh Me'izbesha Zechus Aleinu Kasab B'Sefer HaKodesh Me'Shalach. We have him every week, Baruch Hashem, now that Shlomo's come back. The truth is I was learning it anyway with Dov and Dr. Yudeman, and we learn every Shabbos, even if the Rav's not here. As Hashem, Joshi, and a few other people. Ma'ama M'chodesh Ma'od. He says there, Haggadati Hayom, Hashem V'chili. That Hashem's going to say it to this day. Haggadah remez al devarim kashim. Haggadah is same as the Vidaber, is a losh, is because I'm going to see in a minute, is talking about strong words. Ki b'zeh omer devarim kashim neged HaKohen. He's against the Kohen. So it's the other way around. Before, pre-Sadik was saying the Kohen is the Sadik Mavara or the Yidnim of the Bikurim. This way now, the Kohen is getting the harsh word. Ki merem is a Kohen, Afki Kohen Oved B'Beis HaMikdash. Because even though the Kohen is serving in the Beis HaMikdash, Hu Oved B'Sodeh. And this Shmerel, sorry, I shouldn't say that. I mean, that's the way that a person, God forbid, if he's not thinking right, would say. He'd say, the guy Nebuch, the guy outside the Beis HaMikdash, outside the Beis HaMikdash, he's the guy working the field, working in the offices, Nebuch. I remember when I was in the very well, and I was telling them about to get a job in a proper office, and there was this mashpia I used to speak to, a Choshevi. I'm not going to say his name in this context, even though I have mentioned him in other contexts, because I don't know if it's so praiseworthy to him. Maybe it is. He's very dedicated to Torah. He's from Choshevi Yichus. He has big, from Rebbes and everything. So he is sitting there, and he wears Rebbe clothes even in the week. He's sitting there, and he says to me, I hope they're paying you enough. I said, look, it's a good job. I'm helping all these kids, and there's all these Ethiopian Israelis who have very little, make bar mitzvahs, get them to fill in, and all these different things I was doing, and making events for them, took them to the kotel, took them on trips, help them have a better, help the parents pay for the bar mitzvah party, v'chule, v'chule. Very special organization, and it's called Kirat Education. I worked there for about 5-6 years. Ended up also partnering with Ashreinu, Yeshiva Ashreinu, with Yudin Gotch Yudin. And I helped all his bochum for about 3 years as well while they were in the same campus. But anyway, it was Oved Besada. I was working out. I mean, still there was some holy aspect to it, but I was in an office. He said, you better pay good. And I said, it's a charity, they have a big umbrella charity called Jaffa Institute. It didn't pay so good, no. But it's not shoveh, he was saying to me, to leave the Beis Midrash unless it's like big money. That's what he said to me. And I said to him, look, right now, if I don't leave now, forget about big money. I have no money, or very little from the kollel and learning. And I used to do a 4 o'clock in the morning kollel, and then do another kollel the whole afternoon, and then go work in yeshivas, midnight rabbi. And I was doing a lot of work and holy things, but for about 5-6 years, and I wasn't sleeping much, but I wasn't getting paid much at the end of the day. It was maybe a few thousand, if that. So and it was not enough. So Baruch Hashem. So I'd made that choice with obviously rabbis agreeing, other than this one, and went out to be a nebuch and Oved B'Sodeh. Im kol zeh kasher egia nefesh Yisrael l'mokum hamikdash mevi Bikurim. And comes this Yid, and he's coming to the place of the Mikdash, and he's bringing his Bikurim as mevareh. See the same lashon as yesterday. Ki b'chol mokum haya b'kedusha kamo kohen ha'oved. And this is the Nakuda, the Isbis is saying that he's able to mevareh, clarify in his place of Kedusha, like the Kohen who's serving in the Beis HaMikdash. So it's the Kohen is getting the Hinuch. The guy back then is getting the Hinuch. Because now this guy's coming from the Sodeh, and he's able to now educate the Kohen. It's the other way around, than yesterday. Bia Devarav Kadoshim, the Rav Sodik's words. Devarav Kadoshim l'chor yesh, and it was interesting because it was his Rebbe, But Devarim Kadoshim Lechora Yesh L'Tumor. It's a big one of Divrei Kosa Shama. V'voy el HaKohen asher yeh b'yomim ahem v'amart elav v'gadati hayom le'Hashem alekecha ki bos el haaretz asher nishba Hashem le'v'seinu l'seis lanu. This is a psukim from the Parshat. V'alo kaimelan l'shaloshin Haggadah hi loshin kasha. We don't always say that the Haggadah is strong language. Devarim kashim charif, such strong, sharp words. Moshe Perish Rashi Zal, Divrei Kosav Korma Leveis Yaakov, Tagid Levenei Yisrael. So, no, we do say where in Shmos, it says in the Pesukim over there in Shmos, it says, say to Yisrael, say to Beis Yaakov. Beis Yaakov is the Noshim. So I think that's one of the Mefarshim, also in Hazinu as well. And this is V'dabet or V'tagid. Here it says Tagid in Shmos. V'tagid Levenei Yisrael, and say to them, the same Noshim as Agada, and that's strong language. Say to the men. Beis Yaakov Ele Noshim, so you have to say Loshen Racha softly. Targid Levenei Yisrael Onshim V'Tagin Parashas Zechariah. It's funny because right now one of the things that women are very upset with this new Haredi thing that they're saying, but you're still not dealing with the women issue. You're not letting the women running the party or into the Knesset. It's a whole thing. I don't know if you heard about it. Anyway, so. Based on this, it's Loshen Racha. So why would they want to be in a place of everyone shouting each other? They want a more soft language. I mean, maybe women nowadays is different. They don't have that more nurturing focus. They're into being, strong like men. It's a different vibe. But I hope this is not PC. But whatever. It says Loshen Racha. The Torah says it. You have to say softly to the women and say strong language. And you're very sharp with the men. What do you do up to? You're screaming at the men. Get your act together. Devarim kashin kegidin lama yama mevi bikurim. Devarim kashin kegidin the Kohen ovid b'beis hamikdash. So why the same lashon of Agada is being used, which is lashon kashin and charifim, sharp lashon? Why are you using it like sinews, sharp, strong like sinews? That's the language he says there. So the Kohen who's serving in the Beis Hamikdash, he's in a good place. What are you giving him mussar for? What are you saying such strong language to him? So the person working in the land says that that he's working with the first fruits, the chosen fruits for Elam Yisraim. B'mitzvahs Bikurim, he's going up to Yerushalyim with the mitzvahs Bikurim. Va'omer l'Kohen omed sham l'shayis Hashem, and the Kohen who's standing over there and serving Hashem, sha'oyale b'libo machshavas gavoros, and he's thinking in his heart, wow, I'm so holy, I'm in the Beis Hamikdash, and this Nebuch Shmerelach comes from the field, from the office, from the shuk, and he's coming with his fruits. Nebuch, he has to sit and schwitz out in the heat. And my son's working in agriculture. And you see him, he comes in, he doesn't look like a Rebbe She'einaku, he looks like someone, from the original days of Eretz Yisrael, working hard in the fields. So and what's he doing? He's in the Beis Hamikdash, and he's Bavodas HaKorbanos Lifnei Hashem, he's bringing all the offerings in front of Kodesh Baruch Hu, Ve'ilo Omed Lefanav Hu Oved Adama. And this guy comes and stands in front of him, the one who works the land, works in the office. He's all his days of his life in Devarim of Chol, weekday things, not holy, weekday stuff, not Beis Hamikdash. He's in the field. And on this says the Ovid Adoma to the Kohen, sharp words. Sha'afal pishu Kohen be'emes Ovid Beis Hamikdash, b'mokum Hamikdash b'Mekudash Yotze. Even though the Kohen is in truth working in the holy Beis Hamikdash, a very holy place, more than anywhere else in the world. V'yilu Ovid b'Soda, and I'm only working in the fields, but Avodas Adoma b'mokum Shalcholin. I'm busy working in the weekday zachin, in the chol. Nevertheless, by me bringing up these first fruits to the Beis Hamikdash, what's the whole tikkun of the Baal Shem Tov taught us in Derech Hasidus, and Izish is bringing here, and Tolna Rebbe is bringing it weiter, is that we're here to mevara netzotzes, to elevate netzotzes, sparks from the original Shviras HaKelim, from the original Chay of Madarishon. It's the part of the tikkun Olam, we're fixing the world, the true Tikkun Olam. We're fixing Malchus Shachar, we're bringing back all the nitzos, all the sparks that went out into creation when there was a shira, when there was a breaking, and we're bringing it all back to Kodesh Baruch Hu, elevating everything. So these fruits are a big part of that, for bringing out from the field, the place of the field. That was Yitzhak, he was Siach Basada, he was busy davening in the field, he was elevating nitzos when he used to go and daven in the field. Same with Mincha. Mincha is that whole Bechina. Mokom Hefka, it's a place of Hefka, and he's elevating them and fixing them to the root high above. And even if it's from a low place, he brings it to Kedusha, to holiness. And there the Kohen, he's serving Hashem, doing Ratzon Hashem Yisbarach. And this is the important Nakuda that the Haredi world need to remember. The guy working in the office, in the army, the guy doing all the different things that you didn't do now in Eretz Yisrael, they're also doing Ratzon Hashem Yisbarach. Not everyone's meant to sit in the base of Migdash. Everyone's meant to sit in the base of Midrash. Not everyone's meant to sit and learn all day. And it could be, it's not even hundreds of thousands. Maybe only a few Azoka, the Bnei Aliyah Haim or the Mitzyanim Haim. And maybe not so many of them they think. Especially when many of them don't really learn. Yeah, which I've seen with my own eyes, including myself when I was there. Yeah, the truth is I tried. But whatever. Yeah, I gave my all. That's the truth by me. But yeah, Baruch Hashem, my sons who are serving, they're very proud to do the Ratzon Hashem, to protect their people, to Raven Zelazah. And they would go learn as well. What is my son doing this week before he starts his job in the field, after serving in the army? He's in Yeshiva in Beit Shein. He chose this week, he didn't have to work this week, to go sit and learn full time. And that's what he did. He didn't go on Hofish or sit in Elat and smoke hookers or whatever they do in those places. He went to a yeshiva. It's not the most fancy place, let's be honest. And he sat and he learned Torah from Rav Kook and other such things. And he's elated, he's loving it. Because that's the Isha Sada. He's busy doing the will of Hashem. This helps us to serve the King. And every one of us has his tafkid and is sent in this world, and it's wondrous to know. It's beautiful Torah, and this just in itself already answers up a lot of the issues of our generation. We learn Torah, you get all the eitzes you need, the eitzah gadol, the eitzah rabbah, Hashanah rabbah. The big advice comes down this time of year for Am Yisrael and for everyone individually as well. And in the Parshat, this Parshat is giving us our dracha. The Kohen needs to hear these strong words. The Am Yisrael went through a lot. But what was it all for? To elevate Netzosis. The history was hard and difficult, but we lifted up sparks of exile, of history. That's the Haggadah. And it teaches us as well in everyday life. And he's bringing his first fruits to show that. That's what he's doing. And the most beautiful thing is Am Yisrael making a big reach nechar, big nachzurch to Hashem. Al pi derav yesh leishav gam etz loshen hakosav. Tchila pesach hakosav b'loshen shahotzi etz asma min haklau. Now this is really, really important. A person, we realize we shouldn't take ourselves out of the cloud. It says, your God, not my God. And then it ends off the pasuk that Hashem is going to bring you to the land He swore to our fathers to give to us, and it's us now. A parish derech Rabbeinu HaKodesh Izbish. Back to the Izbish show, continuing with the Izbish show. Ovid Adama Omed Devarim Kashim beginning, the Kohen. Ovid base in English. Yahisabe Lavavo Shirach Malaso Hagavoa V'Hadoso Ghem Shema'alem Nachus Ruach Lapi Ma'ale Yosem Mikol V'Alkein Rachav V'Adasahu B'Darga L'Hashem Elekecho. So that's the concept that we already see from the heart of this Pashta guy, bringing his fruits, that he's serving Hashem and making a tremendous Nachus Ruach above, because it uses the Lashon of L'Hashem Elekecho, your God. Anam Emes Einam Kain, Ela'im Elagam Avodasa Avodas Adama Gam Himala Nachus Ruach Lefanav Yisparach. Zeo Shenamar Hashem Nishba Hashem Lavasenu says Lanu, Hilanu B'nei Yisrael, Echad Nachanu. Kulanu b'nei avosenu, l'chol Yish Yisrael yesh chelek b'avodas Hashem, kol echad ve'echad avodaso b'shlichos amala ve'ech nechach lapi mala, miyadei izo avoda v'rutza mekubalas yotza mekapi mala. It's a very important cloud here. We're saying that we don't really know Who gives more Nachus Ruach to Hashem? We don't know. Everyone in their own way is doing what's in Hashem. And the fact that it uses Lashon Elikecho and then Lavasenu to teach us Hashem Lavasenu that it's everyone has their own unique avoda, but at the same time we're always part of the cloud. We're part of the people. We can never be separate. So everyone together is bringing his Nachus Ruach, each one according to his shlichus, his journey, his mission, his purpose, and everyone is being makabel above a tremendous pleasure in Shemayim. Zeh yitoim b'tam shevach hemshech divrei akasu. Lekach hakohen ataneh biyadecha anicha lefnei Hashem ezberach Hashem lekecha. Hanu she'ach she'oved adama amar kohen oved es oisam divrei akashim kigidin kniknasim divrei tachocha alibo shal kohen. And now he says it very clear that he's giving rebuke to the kohen with these hard words from the Haggadah. When the Kohen comes to take the basket of fruits and bring it in front of the Mizbech of Hashem, your God. He's serving Hashem, but he's now giving strong words to open up the heart of the Kohen. The Kohen needs the birur, the clarification. Mata'enhu choshev od etz oisa machshavas hevel. Shirat kumala reich nechach klapi mala barosa. Al kenema v'nicha lefnei mizbech Hashem lekech klama shu machke bakach shavodas each hasad mala v'yikar klapi mala. So what happens now? The Kohen realizes this whole truth that these people working in business, these people working in the army, these people working in the fields with the first fruits, they are making a tremendous nachas ruach lifnei hamizbech Hashem lekech. They're making a tremendous Nachus Ruach, so they recognize in that person is achieving that Klapi Mala and above, and they come to understand now the aliyah of Nitzotzes and all this Tikkunim that are going on, that it's not being performed by them. They have a realization of how great these people are. That's one of the things that's going to help Am Yisrael. We start to see each other and see how great everyone's avodah is. In fact, he says that the avodah of the Adama is actually more pleasing than all the avodah that he's doing in the Beis Hamikdash. And everyone according to what they're being sent to this world. So now, let's just finish off. It's not so long. You'll see, this will move quick. Okay, weiter. The Shasa Dinya is Shema, and the whole Torah that we're learning here said at the time of judgment, we're warned not to mention his name. What's the Parshat? I didn't understand this first. I had this whole Torah in my head from the Kedushas Levi that when you daven for someone, Ana Rafan Allah is going to match a Miriam Yechevet, or Yechevet Miriam. You're not meant to mention their name, so you make a remez. And Moshe Rabbeinu knew that he wasn't meant to say their name, so he said Ana Rafan Allah, having in mind Miriam Yechevet. That she was, outside the Machane because of the end of Parshat Shlach. So that's a Torah Kedushas Levi. So the idea of not mentioning the name, I've heard this concept. But here he's tying it into Yom Adin. We don't separate yourself out. Don't make yourself bigger than anyone. You're more holy than anyone. That your name is more important than anyone. What's Yom Adin about? We all know. To crown the king, not crown any person. It's about crowning Hashem. So that's what he's going to say here, and we'll just read it very quickly and get to the Nakuda of what he's saying. So Yisod Nichad Sar Kol Echad Nischazek Lo Eire B'Yosef B'Yomim Alu Yomim Shemechinim Esel. Remember, we said we're preparing ourselves for this great day of Rosh Hashanah. Hina Isa B'Zar Kodesh Rabbi Elazar Amar Bor V'Bor. Come and see B'Shash Adin Shiroi Balam. The time that judgment is in the world. It's only 2 weeks away. Lo Sarech LaAdam Sheyizkod Shemo Lifnei HaKodesh. Don't mention your name in front of a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Fishem Nizkod Shemo, because when you mention your name, Nizkaram Gam Chatov. Then I mention all the things you're not shalom with, you're not doing properly. Yivar Lashgiach Behem, and they'll start noticing all the things wrong with you. Minayin Zoysa Mishnu Shemesh Sha'osa Yom Hayu Yom Sha'od Yoshana But Kodesh Baruch Hu Danetz Ha'olam. Because what's happening he's coming to judge the world. Ajam Elisha L'Shanamis, famous pasuk, Hayesh L'Davar L'Cha Elimelech. So is there something to you to go to the Melech? HaMelech Zeh HaKodesh Baruch Hu. That's what it means in that pasuk. Elisha to the L'Shanamis. Talking about HaKodesh Baruch Hu, who's the Melech. Rosh Hashanah Nikra Melech, Melech HaKodesh, Melech HaMishpat, all the different things we daven about. Who answer, and he answered, and she, the Shanamis answered, V'tama b'toch ami anochi v'shaveh. See, this is the answer we need to have Rosh Hashanah this year. I'm b'toch ami. I'm amongst the nation. I'm no better than anyone. I have my own unique purpose, but I'm not better than anyone. I'm not higher than anyone. Maybe I sit and learn more, maybe I daven more than some people, but I'm not better than anyone. Everyone's got their tafkid. I'm betoch ami. Anochi yesheves. Eina ratzah she'yizkor osav yishkiach bo. She didn't want to mention herself and have any, judgment on her. Ani betoch ami. I'm amongst the nation. Misheniknes rosha bein ha'am kula lo yishchichu alav l'don osa ra v'shom kach omer betoch ami. By being in amongst the nation, you won't get any judgment, negative judgment. We do a Lashon Rebbe and Kodesh Mepeshich. He was just had his Yotzah yesterday. So we have Rav Sodik's Yotzah last week. We have the last Shabbos. Now we have the Simcha Bunim's Yotzah just yesterday. Mekasveinu before, so 2 days ago I think. Mekasveinu before some Shekosev's Lashon Kodesh Ksiv. I remember he was the Rebbe from all the way back. You go through Rebbes from the Izbisho and Rav Sodik all the way. They went through the Peshitzcha, and that was from Simcha Bunim. Rechok Hashem nearly, that I'm far from Hashem, it appears to me. Ksiv, it's a pasuk in Yirmiyah. Ksiv b'toch ami, anochi yesheves. So, but I'm amongst the nation, I'm sitting. Zeh sod Rosh Hashanah. Kshe'ein odom misnasa alachem. Don't make yourself bigger than anyone else. Lo misharak hu avadoso. Ma'alim reich nechach klapi ma'ala. Everyone's giving a tremendous nachas work above. Ela kol am yisrael b'asher hem oisim es rosom burim. Ma'ali lo reich nechach b'masayim. Each person in his own way is making his nachas work, his pleasing aroma. By tzadikim, lasas nachas work, making nachas work to Hashem is one of the main kavanas what we're here for. To start to realize we want to bring us pleasing aroma, pleasing spirit. That's korbanos, avodas Hashem. That's the idea of Ratzon Hashem. This is what they care about through their ma'asim, through their actions. Kol echad v'rasam in haga, everyone according to his service, his custom. Azai hu b'chinas b'toch ami anochi yesheves, because I'm amongst the nation, I'm sitting. Ein mashkichin elav l'ra. No one, I'm with you guys. So then they're not going to see you. The prosecuting forces. There's no one to prosecute because everyone's united together amongst the ami, amcha, with the nation. And this is a famous story. Mikveh Yisrael Hashem, Magali Pumya Moran, and this is all the way back from the Zaydah from the Tolna Rebbe. His name was Tolna. Tolna was the son of Mordechai Chernobyl, who was the son of Menachem Nochem of Chernobyl with Moranoim, who was a Talmud of the Baal Shem Tov. So it's not that far back. And he has the Sefer Torah from David Tolna. Every Rosh Hashanah he'd carry it to the Beis Midrash. He'd bring it to Beis Midrash when we were in a certain shul. And I used to come early in the morning. I always like to come early Rosh Hashanah and see him walking in with the Sefer Torah. And one time, the first time I was there, I told this the other day, he started to saying, "Are you happy?" And he's holding the Sefer Torah, the Torah before Rosh Hashanah davening. I was used to very serious energy, but he was like, "No, simcha," and he was holding this old Sefer Torah that goes all the way back. He went through who knows where in Russia and America and Canada, and he's holding it. It's like a moment, wow, this is where I'm at. I'm connected to the Tzaddik here. This is a kunos, and I've had aliyahs on it. Last Shabbos, I was in Yerushalyim. Unfortunately, the last Shabbos in Yerushalayim is just Parshat. I feel really bad. I couldn't afford to get to Yerushalayim. I have nowhere to stay there. Hashem help me. I'm davening. My parents come because if they come, then that was the last time I was there because we stayed in Imbo. Very nice, Baruch Hashem. And they have access to the president's suite, and the fancy, bar upstairs and all that stuff. So when I'm with them, I'm okay. Then I have a bit of a shirat. So Baruch Hashem. So the Shabbos Bereishis, I was by them, and I ran Shabbos morning all the way to my Rebbe, which is the other side of Yerushalayim, but it was worth it. I made it back, and people still only just about starting lunch, so I didn't miss anything. So I ran all the way there, ran a mikvah on the way, and I went Baruch Hashem and got an aliyah on David Tolna's Sefer Torah as Kohen. Of the first Parshat of the year, Parshat Bereishis. So all that effort, that one Shabbos, I tapped into this tzaddik. So Kenos says, what did he say? So he was one time feeling very weak, and he wasn't able to go to the mikveh before davening. Before he went into the base, so before he came into the Beis Midrash, and there was thousands of Yidden because he was a big Rebbe. So what did he do? He walked inside this shul, didn't yet go to the mikveh, wasn't able to, wasn't feeling well. And he toveled amongst the Yidden. You know what that means? He put himself down, lowered himself, and ki'ilu, like he was immersing amongst Am Yisrael. Because it says, Mikveh Yisrael Hashem. The Yisrael's the mikveh. Hamashbel v'sach etz kumosa v'omer tovelin be'am. Tovelin zach sevaishten Yidden. That's what he says here in Yiddish. Mikveh Yisrael Hashem. The Rebbe is bezeh, sarach kol echad lahashbo. Everyone needs to lower themselves, lahamnich et atzmo, in all the different ways, humble himself, and lios shove b'shove in medregas kol Yisrael az yochel avol tahara. By us lowering ourselves and being part of the nation, b'toch ami, that is tahara, that's mikveh. Get rid of all the dimyonis that we're bigger than anybody or more holy than anybody. Tova yourself amongst Am Yisrael. Be part of Am Yisrael. That's the mikveh Yisrael Hashem. That was the Madrega of David Tolna. How do we understand this? Zeh b'zeh omek nosev. You could do a kasher odem tova nimsa b'soro eze chatzitza. Lo asalo tevila. So if you go into mikveh and you've got some sort of chatzitza block, something blocking you, I was just learning that in Masechet Sukkah last time. Chavrusa was here before he went to Chutz, and hopefully he's coming back this week. We'll have in mind Vizel's mother, Sarah Etel Bas Chana, Shafur Shlema, and my mother Chana Liba Bas Simcha. So if there's a chatzitza, that was the last thing I was learning with him before he left. You have to remember the Torah you last learned of a year, and continue, because we're going to Bez Hashem carry on vitamins in Masechet Sukkah. It's around Daf Heid, I know, Daf Vav, I think. So also with the inyan of mikveh Yisrael Hashem, mikveh zeh shal tevila bein Yehudim. So achlebatul kol chetzitzim. What are the chetzitzos? Shebeinu lebein achem, between me and another Jew. What is it? Liot ki ish achad b'lev achad, so that I can become one with Am Yisrael, with both heart and soul. What's the block? Is if I think I'm better than them. That's the chetzitza. That's what ruins the mikveh. Just like a mikveh in the physical sense, that has something on his skin or something. The chatzitza is the gaiva, the wrong thoughts. If you get rid of the chetzitzas, and then you can get a pure mikveh, and that brings to actus and oneness. And we know on Rosh Hashanah all the tefillahs are the lashon of rabbim. Of plural, so that we should all not lo lashon yochid. Kigon zechayna lachaim, chasveina lachaim, ksov lachaim, tovim kol b'nei v'risecha b'sefer lachaim, nizkar kosev lefenecha, nachnu v'cholam chabeis Yisrael, lefi she'ofen hazeh shekol echad mevakesh es kol b'nei Yisrael b'chinas b'toch ami anochi sheves zochim be'emes kosev lichosem lachaim tovim aruchim v'lesholem amen ken yitzon. That's it. What a Torah. Unbelievable. So we should be zochid to have that humility and that oneness, b'toch ami, and to realize that everyone is doing a tremendous service. The Kohen in the base of English, all the way down to the guy collecting, helping clean the streets of Eretz Yisrael, building the sukkahs coming up soon. Whatever your tafkid is, it's all holy to Hashem. It's all Nachus Ruach to Hashem, and everyone is equally bringing that Nachus, and we're b'toch ami, we're together. So chayna l'chaim elchav t'chaim, we're all together for Chaim and Tovim and Shalom and Bez Hashem the Binyan Ba'ashish Amen.